Hey everybody, how's it going? My name's Alkin Slice. Welcome to the channel. I just wanted to make a video talking about my experiences with alcohol, especially beginning through the COVID-19 pandemic and how that has affected my life and, where I'm at today. So we'll start with the beginning of COVID. When COVID started, I really didn't drink a lot at all. I didn't drink. I would buy like a 6-pack of beer and it would last me like a month. And then COVID came and started becoming more and more of a thing. And I started getting less and less hours at work. I didn't necessarily get laid off, got put in furlough, which meant that I was still on the employee roster, but I was just considered unemployed at the time. And at that point, I don't even know what went through my brain. I just went to the grocery store and I found wine, and I just figured, hey, I don't really like drinking beer because it makes me feel bloated. You drink beer, it's like drinking a shit ton of soda, makes your stomach all fucking like just full feeling, and it's just, I don't know, I didn't like it. So tried to drink some wine, and I was like, oh, this is actually kind of nice. And as time went on, I just drink some wine, drink some wine to get a nice little buzz going, and I would just watch YouTube, watch some TV. No harm, no foul. That was around the time that I actually started making YouTube videos, Let's Plays at the time. And I remember I would play a bunch of Let's Plays, record a bunch of stuff. And it just kind of got to the point that, it's like 4 p.m., 5 p.m. You know what, whatever, let's just go drink some wine. And it became this weird thing I just started doing, like, oh, it's like 5 p.m. Let's go and just start drinking then. And there was no reason to necessarily do it other than that, hey, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. But what I'm trying to say is that it just got to the point that I just started drinking at a certain time. Like, oh, it's cool to drink at this particular time, Anytime before this, no. But after this time, I could start drinking. It eventually got to the point that whenever I was recording, I was like, okay, I want to drink a little bit to loosen myself up so I'm more talkative. It just made me feel like I was just more interesting, Sometimes I'm kind of an introvert. Sometimes I get in my own head about things, and like drinking just made it easier for me to get out of my shell and just talk when I was doing these Let's Plays I was making. Eventually got to the point where I was just drinking not like a crap ton of wine, but like way more than I should be drinking. And eventually I started playing an online game. And my first experience with that game was playing it under the influence of alcohol. And I went to a very public area of the game and I just started like chatting with people and I had a great ass fucking time. But I was obviously very drunk. But I really, really enjoyed that. And it kind of put me in this weird headspace where every time I started playing this game forward, drinking alcohol was just hand in hand with it, It was just something that I felt was part of the process. I wouldn't even think about it. I would literally just start playing the game and I just find myself walking over and making myself a glass of alcohol. The use of alcohol had affected my online life like a lot. It didn't really affect my personal life, honestly, which is actually kind of crazy thinking about it, but I just started noticing that I would just be drinking alcohol and like little things that would never bug me just started bugging me, People might ignore me or people might go hang out with somebody else other than me, and like drunk me would just be like, oh, what the fuck, it would really, like things that wouldn't bug me normally started bugging me because of alcohol. And it ruined a lot of online friendships, which, online friendships are online friendships. There's good ones, there's bad ones, but for the most part, they're kind of like live and let live, in my opinion. But I don't like the person that I was at that point in my life. I think for the most part, like maybe 70% of me was like fun, great, awesome, but like that 30% where I was like in a bad headspace, it just wasn't cool, man. It wasn't cool, and I really hated those times in my life. It would cause me a lot of stress. It caused me a lot of grief. And it was all me. It was all me just being on alcohol, Eventually it got to the point that I realized how bad I was getting, and I just cut down my alcohol intake significantly. Like, I would be drinking like maybe like 1 to 2 glasses of wine tops a night, which was not even like a candle to what I was drinking before. But sadly, I guess I had damaged a lot of my relationships in this online game to the point that they just had a lot of like negativity towards me, or like a sour taste in their mouth, which I don't blame them. I really don't blame a lot of the people. There's a couple people I'm like, hey, yeah. But it kind of made it really hard to like keep on not drinking, because I'm doing my best to be a better person, but there's people that are holding things that I did in the past that wasn't even towards them against me, It was this weird thing, but I held true, did the best I could, and yeah, I cut down on my alcohol intake significantly. Eventually, I just stopped playing that online game. I just got kind of bored with it, kind of tired of playing it, and kind of moved on to other things. I started watching YouTube again and watching, Hulu and all these other streaming services again. And yeah, I did drink a bit while that was going on, but the big thing that I think picked up my drinking again was when I started streaming. So let's fast forward to 2022 when I started streaming. Streaming was a very, very fun thing that I really enjoyed doing. I love interacting with my audience. I really enjoyed talking to people. I love when the chat is active. Now, sadly, I started relying on alcohol a lot more than I should have at that point in time, because it helped me loosen up, made me very talkative, and it just, I don't know, it made me have a good time. Sometimes it made me have a bad time, which is the downside of drinking alcohol. Sometimes it's like flipping a coin. But there's a lot of times that I would be streaming, and I just would be like streaming for like 20, 30 minutes. And be like, oh, I'll be right back, guys. And I would just go take another shot if I didn't have any people talking in my chat, or I felt bad about something, or I just felt like I was being boring. It was very, very, very unhealthy. It got to the point that I was literally drinking significantly more than I ever drank in my goddamn life. But the weird thing about alcohol, though, is I don't drink when I have shit to do. I don't. If I gotta go pick somebody up, I don't drink. If I got something to do that day, I don't drink. If I have work, I don't drink, It just became this weird thing that I would do when I was bored. But I also would do to try to make myself more social when I would stream or make videos and stuff like that. Alcohol became kind of a weird crutch that I just used. I didn't need it. I wanted it. And I say I didn't need it. I wanted it, because that's kind of how I look at my use of alcohol. Is just, if I tell myself I need it, then it's like, oh, I got to have it. But if I tell myself I want it, it's just like, okay, well, if I can't get it, or if I don't get it, fucking sucks. But I can still live, I can still live my life. So I went through this weird period where I would just drink and stream, and the next day I would drink and stream, and the next day I would just drink and stream. And when I say drink and stream, I mean drinking way more than I should be. Lately, I've been cutting back my alcohol content significantly. And I've noticed that alcohol doesn't make me a better streamer. It doesn't make me a more interesting person. If anything, I kind of hate being drunk. I kind of hate drinking alcohol. To an extent, don't get me wrong. Drink a little bit. It's kind of fun, But just the place I used to get to when I would drink and stream, I don't like that person. I don't like how I felt. I don't like how I interacted. I mean, hell, there's like several streams that I've literally just unlisted from my channel because I just didn't like how I was talking at the time. I mean, one of the things that really kills me about drinking and streaming is just watching back your stream and just hearing yourself slurring words or going on these weird ass rambles and tangents. It's not fun, man. It's really not fun. Lately, I've done several streams where I've basically not drunk or barely drank anything at all, and it just started making me realize that, hey, alcohol is not the key to being a better streamer, and it's not what I need to be a streamer. It's just, hey man, alcohol was this weird crutch I just used for a long time for multiple reasons, but I don't need it. And I tend to have a lot more fun when I don't use it. You know, I kind of like look back at those times that I didn't drink and I streamed recently, very, very fondly at this point in time. And I guess this video is just kind of giving like a background of like my history with alcohol. If anybody else out there has had an issue, like a history with alcohol or something like that, hopefully this helps you. But the gist of what I wanted to make this video about is just, I want to thank everybody in the audience that's been sticking around, you know, especially recently, as I've cut down on my alcohol content, you know, try not to ramble as much, you know, stuff like that. It means a lot to me, and it makes it a lot easier for me not to drink. And it's not y'all's job to do that kind of thing, but it's just, I decided I was going to cut back, and the reception I got, I didn't say I was going to like stop drinking alcohol. I didn't put that out there. But just the fact of like the amount of people that were there having fun and just showing me support and stuff like that really showed me that alcohol is not necessary to be an interesting person or to be a good streamer. For me, that is. For me. And I just want to say thank you to everybody out there who supported me, you know, in the past in general, but also especially very recently. If you do have issues with alcohol, or maybe you think you're drinking too much, you know, put a comment down below. Let me know how you feel. Maybe tell your story. Maybe make a video, you know. Send me the video. I would like to think that this video might help some people, you know. Maybe stop drinking as much, or maybe stop drinking in general. Anyways, this video is very hard to make, as I said at the beginning. It's kind of embarrassing to admit you had a problem, you know. I mean, I still might have kind of a problem, but I'm working on it, and that's kind of a cool thing to say, hey, I'm working on this. You know, the first part of getting over something is accepting that there's a problem. And I accept that there has been a problem for the last several years. I'm doing my best to get over it, and I have to say, everybody in the audience is making this so much easier on me. Way easier. By just showing your support and just, you know, I used to think that I had to drink to make myself interesting, and like when I didn't do it and I just got like way more people in the audience, I was like, holy shit. Yeah. So I just want to say thank you to everybody who's been supporting me. Also, I don't know, I just wanted to put my story out there, and hopefully, if this resonates with anybody, hey, don't give up. If you really, really want to quit drinking, man, just remember, there's always something to do it for. There's always something to stop drinking for. But anyways, I'm just kind of rambling now. Sorry. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like down below. If you're new to the channel, hey, drop a subscription. I want to make more videos. I want to make more videos talking about various topics like this. And also, yeah, if you don't mind, drop a little subscription.